Welcome to Lola Lee Chat. Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome to my channel. First of all, I want to say I got no dog in this race. I got no pony in this race. What's the saying? I want everybody to win, especially when it comes to women. I'm all about women empowerment, and I am never one to stop anyone's bag. So like I said, I got no dog or pony in this race. This is not personal for me. I am just reporting. So, Blueface Mom, Carlissa's show Auntie podcast premiered last night. Like I've told you guys, I had canceled my Zoo subscription around the time that CHRISEAN had left Baddies. But I've been seeing, the clips here and there of the shows on Zeus. Anyway, I renewed my subscription to see this Auntie podcast, to see Carlissa, and I wanted to review the show. And also because I do a lot of Carlissa and circus content, and of course I do CHRISEAN content and Blueface. Remember, Carlissa has been saying she's the star of the show, the Auntie podcast show. It's her show. She's the boss. So I wanted to see, what was going on. I'm nosy like that. So this is why it's listed on the network. It says Auntie podcast stars, Toni, Carlissa, Saffold, Tia Kemp bring their big personalities and unique viewpoints to the talk show / podcast space. So season 1, episode 1. So I'm going to give you guys a little recap, review. So the game was the first guest. The backstory is he dated Toni's daughter, Black China. Black China is so beautiful, and I love that she has changed her life. The show starts off with all 3 ladies bantering back and forth. We can definitely tell that Toni and Carlissa do not get along. So from the jump, we can definitely see that Toni has the strongest personality of all 3 ladies. Toni and the game flirted the entire show. The weird thing was Black China and the game had a little something going on in the past, but that didn't seem to be an issue for either the game or Toni. And that was actually really gross to me because to me, I think that's a line that should never be crossed, the whole mother-daughter thing. But it's Hollywood, so who knows? And on top of that, Toni said that she has been married for 25 years, but here she was flirting with this man the entire interview. So Toni dominated the interview, but Carlissa did manage to say that she tried to get the game to sleep with Callie. Leave Callie alone, please. Leave her alone. The game clarified that he sent Callie prayer hands when he saw that the family was going through a hard time. Carlissa asked a few other questions, and I don't know how true it is that she tried to set Callie up with the game. Because Carlissa is known to say things for shock value sometimes. So I hope that's not true, because why is she inserting herself in that kind of thing? Anyway, so like I was saying, Toni dominated this interview. She was asking the game 1,000,001 questions. The 2 of them went back and forth. He seemed very attracted to her, very focused on her, and the feelings seemed mutual. Tokyo even said he sent her a picture before the interview. I think you guys know what I'm talking about here. What type of picture he sent her. The pictures, guys send women. Wow. All I was thinking was, where are the boundaries here? And this guy was with your daughter at some point. So Tokyo is sitting directly across from him and they're flirting. And at one point, I think he said he saw something because she was opening and closing, her thighs, her legs. She didn't seem to mind that he saw what he saw. The game talked about Black China and her not being a slouch when it comes to, down there. And I gotta say that Tia did a great job trying to change the subject by bringing up Rick Ross and their beef. But, the game was still focused on Tokyo Toni. Carlissa looked like she was getting frustrated with Tokyo, and she threw some shade at her, saying something about Tokyo having cottage cheese between her legs or something like that. Carlissa asked the game about Blueface. He responded that he gives Blueface advice. Carlissa had some really, really good questions, but Tokyo kept cutting her off and asking the game mostly inappropriate questions. And I think it was Tia that asked him about Diddy. And I thought that was a really good question too. And I wish that he had spoken more about that. But I think he would have if they had dug a little bit deeper. And I think that was a missed opportunity right there. He answered the question about how much he would give a female for lunch. He said 500. He gave the reason why he said 500. Maybe she wants to bring a friend or a side dude. She got to pay for the valet and blah, blah, blah. 500 seems like a good amount. That's very generous. He called Tokyo Toni a human hippo. We find out she weighs 280. Did I hear that right? 280? I don't believe that. I think I must have misheard. So Tia asked him about him being in foster care. He said he was in foster care from the age of 8 to 14. And I would have liked to have heard more about that or more about his past. Of course, whatever he felt comfortable sharing. Guys, the commentary was really bizarre. Carlissa and Tia were co-signing that the game wanted Tokyo Toni. I thought that was so inappropriate. Tokyo's actions and the type of questions she was asking him gave the impression that she was in heat or something. She had asked him if he liked to do certain things in the bedroom. I gotta say, it was not a professional interview like we see on mainstream TV. But maybe that's what they're going for. I don't know. Maybe they're going for more of a ratchet type podcast interview. The game called Tokyo Toni a crackhead and a gremlin in a very playful way. He joked about the gap in her teeth. Tokyo seemed real comfortable flirting with this man that was with Black China. Tia even gave him a lap dance, and she was rubbing all on this man's head. They were trying to get him to show his private messages, sitting real close to him. I hate saying this, but the show did not live up to the hype. But it's just the first episode, and I think that they're just getting warmed up. They're getting to know each other, getting used to each other. But I gotta say that Tokyo Toni seemed to be doing too much. I wish she would have shared the platform with the other ladies. They were trying their best to get in there and converse as well. They were really struggling to get their questions heard. Perhaps it would have been a little different if Tokyo and the game didn't have that connection. Maybe the interview would have been more even. Carlissa seemed to be iced out by Tokyo, meaning she wasn't allowed to be a host. Tia, on the other hand, seemed to have no issues with Carlissa. Carlissa came across as more of a special guest. Honestly, guys, they could have literally edited out Carlissa's segment. Now, I see why Carlissa was so mad on her live streams after the tapings of the show, and I can't say I blame her. And I can see why she was speaking the way she was about Tokyo. I think Carlissa has to be more assertive and get in there and don't let Tokyo take over the show again like she did. Or Carlissa is going to be the first one to be replaced if this continues. And I really gotta say that the ladies gotta do better or the show is gonna be a flop. I hope the next interview will be more professional so that we can find out more about the guests and let the guests answer before asking another question. Perhaps they should have an agreement between themselves. Each person gets to ask a question and then they talk about the answer and so on. So, at the top of this, I said Carlissa did say she was a star of the show, but this interview, this segment, this episode, the focus was definitely Tokyo Toni, Tokyo Toni, Tokyo Toni, and the game. So let me know if you guys want me to recap episode 2. Let me know if you watched and what are your thoughts. Put your advice for Carlissa in the comment section because I know she watches some of my videos. Also put your advice for the show in general. And one more thing, after the show aired, I noticed that Carlissa had posted that she's looking for a new assistant. And it looks like her assistant is saying anything regards to Carlissa's affairs, please reach out to her. Thank you in advance. So it seems like Carlissa and her assistant have had a falling out. If y'all recall, Bree was Carlissa's assistant and she started out as a fan of Carlissa's. So if you're interested in becoming Carlissa's assistant, it looks like there is a job opening. And thank you guys very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.